Let's see when I get there. How we eat all the way through.
Giving you my commentary on how you should think through this. All right, so let's just keep going. So going back to Dave Ramsey first in his corner, again, alphabetically, he goes first. He has something he calls the
Okay, he really haven't been here.
So if you want to invest like Dave Ramsey, this is what you would do. This is what he'd tell you if you worked with him directly. The 7 baby steps. And let's dig into it. So number one, save $1,000 for your starter emergency fund. Great. I applaud that. Good job, Dave. You should certainly do that. As a matter of fact, this should be more than $1,000. Obviously, the more the better, but I guess set that as your first goal. Now, if you don't have savings, you're a slave. And I mean that because if you have no savings, you can't quit your job. If you have a month's worth of savings, a month's worth of expenses saved up, you could quit your job and then go find a new job in that month period, or 2 months or 3 months or whatever it is. If you have no savings, you cannot quit. You're basically safe. So I do applaud that. I would like to say, 30 days at least, if not up to 90 days of savings. For me, having gone through what I went through in 2008, I like 12 months of savings, but you figure out what you need to have there. But you need to have that emergency fund. The number's changing, but something about 40%, according to base rate, 40% of Americans cannot afford a $1,000 emergency expense right now. Right? So it's a big deal. You can do that. Step number two, he says, pay off all your debt. Except for your house. He says, check it out. Pay off all your debt. He uses something called the debt snowball, which is basically you list all your debt small to large, and you start paying the smallest one first, and then the largest one. And that works because of the psychological win. You start seeing some action, you knock off a couple payments, which makes it easier, and then you can grow from there. Most expensive debt is the highest payment, not the payment, but the highest interest rate. I have a 22% credit card and a 6% credit card. I can pay up to 22% debt first. 6, that's the plan. Another stat for you, the average American has $92,000 in consumer debt per experience. 92,000, almost 6 figures. Then step 3 is now, after you got 1,000 to pay off your debt, then you save 3 to 6 months of expenses. And he wants you to put this in an emergency fund to ensure financial security in case anything happens, like a job loss or medical emergencies, things like that. All right. Number 4, now you want to start investing 15% when you've got these things done. Start investing 15% of your household income into your retirement. And again, he suggests investing in tax-advantaged retirement accounts like 401ks, Roth IRAs, focusing on mutual funds. Mutual funds is basically, I just give my money to somebody else and they figure it out for me. It's diversified against a whole bunch of assets, and I don't have to worry about it. I don't like that plan. I think with a little bit of education, a little bit of focus, you can do much, much better, which pays massive dividends, 7-figure dividends over the future. But again, I do like it because, again, it makes it so you put no thought, no effort into it. It allows you to go focus on making money. Now, if you're taking that extra time, effort, energy, and focusing on making more money, you might come out ahead. You probably will. If you're instead taking all that extra time so you can watch more Netflix and chill, you're going to get further behind. All right, you need to consider that. Then finally, 5, you want to start saving for your children's college fund. This is what Dave says, not me. He wants you to save money into an education plan like a 529 plan. For me, I don't want my kids to go to college. Specifically, I don't want them to go to college. So my oldest daughter, which is graduating, she is not going to college, and I don't expect my youngest to either. If they want to go, they're welcome to go. They're moving doctors, attorney, sure, go ahead. We don't go to college for college sake. I would rather, I posed this question to my daughter, we get back to this with Robert Kiyosaki, but I said, would you rather me spend $250,000 for you to go to a 4 or 5 year college, and when you get out, you can hopefully get a job for $50,000 a year? Or would you rather I use the $250,000 and buy you real estate with it that pays you $50,000 for the rest of your life? She said, I like the real estate option because it's a good choice. Right, and so that's what we're doing. Anyway, keep going. Number 6, now you start to pay off your home early. His goal is to become completely debt-free by paying off the mortgage early. Now, this again, I don't like this, and the reason why I don't like this is a couple of reasons. One, by paying that debt off, I don't have some tax write-offs that I might need, writing off interest on my debt. But number 2, assuming that I have that debt, about 90% of mortgages are locked in below 5%. I think 40% of mortgages are locked down below 3% mortgage. So if you have a 3% interest and you have 5%, 6, 7, 8% inflation, inflation is paying your debt off. So I have a 30-year loan. So let's say right now, for easy numbers, it's taking $1,000 for me to pay off my mortgage every month. But in 10 years from now, my pay will have probably gone up, and that $1,000 will be more like $600. And in 20 years, that $1,000, because my payment is still fixed at $1,000, it'll be now like paying like $400 a month. And so that inflation is paying off my debt, which is again why we're in a debt-based monetary system. They want to inflate away the debt, but it also inflates away my debt. So I would rather invest my money and make 10, 15% and keep my 3% mortgage, unlike what Dave says. But I get it. It's like leverage. If you have no debt, you're a little bit safer off. Number 7, finally, now you build wealth and you give generously. I applaud him on that. Giving is a big piece of what I do. I think everyone should be doing it, if not even just for the smallest piece to start building that. So I applaud Dave Ramsey for that. All right, now let's turn to Robert Kiyosaki. He has 6 points. See if I can get through these. The first one, and this is going to turn everybody upside down on their head. And again, go read the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad. It was, like I said, probably one of the top 2 or 3 most influential books on my business and investing career. He has 1, the rich don't work for money. They don't work for money. Now, there's 2 things in this. So first of all, they don't work for money. They have money work for them. You see, I work really hard for money, and I want my money to work even harder than I do. So I want my money to work hard. And 2, I don't actually work for money. It means I don't trade time for money. And I think this is probably the biggest thing that holds people back from ever branching out and having big success is most people just can't imagine working without getting paid. They won't do it. You see, the wealthy, like what I've done, is I've worked for years for free, learning new skills, trying new things, developing new strategies, in the hope that one day those skills, that time I put in, will get me something later. And I worked for years doing that without getting paid. But see, most people are used to working for an hourly wage, and they can't imagine working for months or years and not getting paid. So rich don't work for money. Number 2, financial literacy. Now, when he talks about, when Kiyosaki talks about financial literacy, he's talking about it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. More people think about how much income they have, but it's not about income. It's not about the income, it's about how much you keep that goes into your savings or really builds up your assets. And you need to understand that the difference between assets and liabilities. You see, like most people think, like I have my house, but he explains that your house is not an asset, your house is a liability. Why? Because assets put money into your pocket, liabilities take money out of your pocket. So just ask yourself, for your home, does your house put money in your pocket or out? Takes it out, obviously. Now, if you have a rental property, that puts money into your pocket, right? So there's a difference there. But you really have to understand what that difference is, and really you see that on your balance sheet. So in the book, he breaks down how to use the balance sheet and how to look at the income and the expenses and the assets there. This is the cheat code. As a matter of fact, I have a template for a balance sheet. Just go to onemarkmoss.com and you can download it for free.
Okay,
what I
now
call the
stop
scorecard.
this
See,
turn.
everyone's focusing on how much money they make.
Stop there.
It's not about how much money you make. In California, you can make $1 million and still be broke. It's crazy. It's not about how much you make. It's about what your balance sheet shows. It's about what your scorecard shows. So I have a free download. You can get it if you want. Just go to onemarkmoss.com, download it for free, fill that out. And if you track that every single month, what gets measured gets managed. If you measure that every month, it will grow. All right? All right, now number 3. So we're going through 6 things of Robert Kiyosaki. I got to take a break. I'm going to come back. I'll cover the next 3, and then we'll finally summarize and pit them up against each other. But you know, one of the things that Robert Kiyosaki does talk about all the time, really it changed his life after Vietnam, is gold. He talks about buying a gold Cougaran. He owns gold mines, and he still loves gold. And he talks about how gold could take off in 2024, which is no surprise. And it's already taking off. As a matter of fact, it's up 20% since October of last year, just about the last year, which is a massive move for gold. I also like gold. I've been buying it for over a dozen years. And I work with a company called Universal Coin and Bullion. They got great prices, and they're trustworthy. I would like Dr. Mike Fulgens and his company, Universal Coin and Bullion. And And they have a very special offer for my listeners where you can get a silver 1 ounce American Silver Eagle coin with no dealer markup, only $27 each, but they get only limited at 3. They'll even ship it to you for free with an award-winning gold investment guide if you mention my name, Mark Moss. Give them a call called Universal Coin and Bullion to get this $27 Silver Eagle coin deal today. 1-800-UCB-GOLD. Again, 1-800-UCB-GOLD. Or you can go online to universalcoin.com/Mark Moss. We'll be right back more with the next 3 points of Robert Kiyosaki's philosophy. You don't want to miss it. Don't go away. We'll be right back. Talk 650 KSDE.
With so many mesothelioma lawyers, how do you choose the right firm for you and your family? I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan, and here's my advice to you. Do your
That guy's going way
Results
too
matter.
fast.
Reputation
Not
matters.
supposed to go
Last
above the
year
speed
alone, our
limit
team
like
recovered over $1
California
billion
does,
for our clients.
which is
If you've been
ridiculous.
diagnosed with mesothelioma,
That's why there's a
call
lot
us
more
now,
people
as the
getting
time to
killed
file a
thanks to
claim may
people
be limited.
speeding.
Call
And
800-602-2200.
going against the law.
That's 800-602-2200. Call now. Brace yourself for the ultimate holiday deal with Consumer Cellular. Snag an incredible 50% off the Iris Flip when you buy before December 17th, making it only $34.50. The Iris Flip is all the phone and camera you need with the user-friendly design, the perfect flip phone companion. Plus, you'll get nationwide coverage and always free activation. Score 50% off when you use promo code RADIO50. Head over to consumercellular.com and use promo code RADIO50 during checkout to score this deal.
Looking for top-notch personal protection? The Smith & Wesson Equalizer is here to level the playing field. Easy to rack slide, easy to control ergonomic grip. It's designed for you. With a 10, 13, and 15-round magazine included, size up for better control or size down for easier concealment. Don't miss out on the opportunity to upgrade your safety. Visit your local dealer now. To learn more about the Equalizer, visit smith-wesson.com. Smith & Wesson, empowering America. All capacity sizes may not be available in your jurisdiction. Be sure to check your local laws and regulations.
It's the 17th annual Tis the Season Community Food Drive. Stop by your local Tri-County Bank branch to donate non-perishable foods now through December 22nd. All donations help the Salvation Army feed local families in need. Visit TriCountyBank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Portions of the following program will be recorded.
Did you know a vehicle is stolen once every 40 seconds in the United States? The cost adds up to over $6 billion a year, which leads to higher auto insurance rates for all of us. But there are steps you can take to help put the brakes on vehicle theft. When you leave your vehicle, always roll up the windows completely. Don't leave valuables in the car. Take the keys or the fob with you. Lock the doors. And if you are out at night, always park in a well-lit area. For an extra layer of protection, install an audible alarm system or tracking system, and use steering wheel or brake pedal lock. If you have information on vehicle theft, contact the National Insurance Crime Bureau. Reach us at 1-800-TEL-NICB. That's 1-800-TEL-NICB. Or visit our website at www.nicb.org. A public service message from the National Insurance Crime Bureau.
Have you ever thought you're just not a math person? With students more than half a grade level behind because of COVID, your kid may feel the same way. But it's not too late to get involved and be part of the equation. Get your child on track with math at bepartoftheequation.org.
Think for yourself. Talk 650 KSDE.
All right, welcome back. If you just tuned in or listening to the Mark Moss Show, we are pitting up the two titans of personal finance and investing, Robert Kiyosaki and Dave Ramsey, against each other. We broke down Dave Ramsey's 7 baby steps, his philosophy to becoming financially free and independent. Now we're going through Robert Kiyosaki's. We covered the first 3. I'm going to break down the next 3 for you. If you missed any of this, sorry. We've given out so much advice, so much money-making information, alpha, as we call it. If you missed it, you can catch it on the podcast. Just go to the Mark Moss Show on your favorite podcast player. And while you're there, would you please give me a review? I'd love it if you could just rate and review this on your favorite podcast player. It means the world to me. You can also watch this and listen to me at the same time on YouTube at Market Disruptors. Okay, so let's get back into the last 3 of Robert Kiyosaki. The third one is mind your own business. So again, the rich focus on their assets, the poor focus on income. How much money am I making? can I get a higher paying job? They focus on their income as opposed to the assets that they buy with their income. Am I buying the right asset? Is this the right asset to buy at this time? How can I get this asset to go up in value? How can I get this asset to pay me more income instead of focusing on my income? They also understand finding your own business is that talented people are typically poor because they're focusing on, let's say, the improvement. Let's say like McDonald's. They're focusing on how to make a better hamburger and not about building the hamburger business and creating systems around it so it runs automatically, systematically without me. You see, how can I do this better as opposed to how can I build a business to do this for me? The fourth thing is, this is a big piece that Dave Ramsey just leaves out completely, and it's a massive fail in my opinion. Back to Robert Kiyosaki. Number 4, the rich understand taxes. Now you have to understand the IRS is your partner, whether you like it or not. They take, depending on your tax bracket where you live, if you're in the top tax bracket, California, they take about half of your income. They're your partner, 50-50. And so it's a pretty good idea if you have a business partner to understand what your business partner wants, what they're trying to do, and how you can work together with them. And so Robert Kiyosaki talks a lot about using taxes properly and specifically lowering your taxes. It's your single biggest expense. Remember, back to saving 15% to 40% of your income, you can either make more income or you can cut your expenses. So one of the biggest ways, if you're going to cut expenses, is to cut your single biggest expense, which is taxes. So the way it typically works, and Robert Kiyosaki points out, is that owners earn income, then they spend whatever they want to spend, and then they pay tax on the money that's left over. Whereas employees earn, and then they pay taxes, and then they get to spend whatever's left. It's a big difference. Now, back to Robert Kiyosaki talking about real estate. If you don't want to pay taxes, one of the best ways to not pay taxes is with real estate and business. You see, again, they're your partner. So, for example, the government, it's not loopholes, the government has incentives. Not loopholes, incentives. Why is that different? A loophole is like a way to get out of something. An incentive is working in alignment with what you want. So, for example, the government needs places for people to live, right? They need housing and apartments for people to live in. So they can't provide that. But if you are willing to do that, if you're willing to buy a house or an apartment building and rent it out, then they'll give you an incentive to do that. They also need employment. As a matter of fact, it's one of the 2 Fed mandates to have full employment. Well, how does the Fed give employment? Or the government? They don't. They can't. But you can if you start a business. When the government wants you, they need you to start a business. And if you do, they have an incentive. They incentivize you to do the things they want, like start a business and buy real estate. That's why you don't pay tax. So you need to learn that. Number 5, the rich create money. I call this wealth creation. You see, Dave Ramsey wants you to save your way to wealth. That's not how it works. You don't save your wealth. We have to create wealth. How do the rich create wealth? How do they create money? Well, it starts with your mind. It starts with your ideas. Robert Kiyosaki talks about it as an infinite return. You have an unlimited amount of ideas that you can have. So it starts with your mind. You have to have ideas. Then you have to turn those ideas into actions, and you need the skills in order to do that. You have to have skills in order to develop that. I call this, I talk about it in 3 different levels of capital. So most people only focus on one form of capital, which is actually the hardest to get and the least effective to use, and that's financial capital. I don't have enough money. It takes money to make money. I can't do anything because I don't have any money. They don't have the financial capital. So they spend all their time there. They think they're stuck there. But it's not financial capital that really matters more. It's actually the mental capital. It's the skills. As Robert Kiyosaki says, we create money with our skills. If you have the skills to make more money, and then third is the relationship capital. You know people. So I know people who give me opportunities, and I have the skills to back that up. It doesn't take me any money. So it starts with your mind. We can create wealth by having the idea, having the skills to develop that, and then of course continue to plant the seeds that continue to grow. Robert Kiyosaki, the 6th one is work to learn, not to earn. So he says that education is more valuable than money. That's the point I'm just making right now. Education is more valuable than money. You see, if I have the education of how to, if I can come into your business and make you $1 million, would you give me $100,000? Then of course you would. But how could I do that? Well, only if I have the education, if I have the skills in order to do that. So the skills you need to figure out is how to make more money. How do you do that? Well, I want to learn sales, marketing. Sales and marketing, that's the rainmaker. That's how you drive money.